Welcome back to the Wet Mammal channel. Today we're spearfishing Melbourne.
Today is the day where we are going to target bluefin.
That is until the worst thing imaginable happened and I lost my guns and my esky off the back of the jet ski. But we didn't let that stop us. We decided to carry on diving without the guns and we still got ourselves a massive feed, which we were absolutely stoked about.
So this really isn't how today was supposed to end up.
Let's see if these scallops can fix a broken heart. So we wake up onto the next day of the trip and unfortunately there's big southwesterly winds coming through and it's just churned the water up. It is beyond gross. We pop the drone up, have a look, and yeah, it's not going to be a dive day today.
Absolutely love this place. It's so good to be back. It's been a couple of years, but it's still as beautiful as I remember. And we've already had magic moments in the first few minutes of entering the park with emus, kangaroos, wallabies, glossy tail cockatoos, like absolutely magic.
I absolutely love exploring around Wilson's Prom. It's one of my favourite national parks in Victoria and I highly recommend. It's got some incredible multi-day hikes and the nature is just off the charts.
So cute.
We're just about to go down to the Squeaky beach and check her out. It's been a while since I've been there. It's a good beach and it's squeaky.
I've never been there, so I'm excited to see it. It's like white sand.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that's why they call it Squeaky Beach.
Another beautiful walk in Wilson's Prom.
With that, we decide to call it a day, have a nice little cook up with the canopy and just relax off filming for the evening.
Nice.
We start the day fairly early with bluefin tuna on the mind and I cannot explain how excited I was to get on this and get out. We had a wicked weather window, the conditions were right, other people had seen bluefin a couple days before, so we had a really good chance of getting onto some nice bluefin for this.
Another sunny day here in Vic. It's actually a heap warmer. It's almost 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So we're just going to go out and today is the day where we are going to target bluefin. Like, this is what today is about. It's about going out, hopefully seeing them, hopefully diving on them and hopefully smacking them. Mon's just parking up the car, but we are going to get on it and I'm very excited. The conditions should be pretty good. It's a bit windier than it said that it was going to be, but the best conditions are yet to come.
Of course, here she is. Yeah, you might have to ladder down. Thank you.
And just like that, all loaded up and good to go. The ride out there is a lot of fun. It's pretty flat until we get to the bar crossing and then we make our way across the bar. I'm sorry that the camera angle has slipped down. It's a bit frustrating, but it was quite a bumpy ride, and over the course of the bumpy ride we had the esky and the guns just snap off the back of the jet ski and we didn't realise until probably a minute or so later, and then it was too late.
I've given up on the search for the esky and the guns, which really hurts. But we're gonna have a fun day anyways, and we're gonna go dive for some Seadragons, then we're gonna go for some Scallops, and we're gonna make the most of the day. Because we can't let stuff like that get to us. Although it does really suck. That was my favourite 2 guns that I own. And yeah, lots of memories and stuff like that attached to them. But you never know, Poseidon has a funny way of returning gifts and it might not be the last time I see them. But we did all that we could looking for them. Unfortunately, I think the esky got pushed down and then was in like mid-column of water, and it was just not going to be possible to find scouting around on the surface. Devastating, absolutely devastating. But we're going to have a good day and we're going to go get some scallops later and feel better when I got scallops in my belly. How you doing, Mon?
Yeah, I'm doing good, but it's unfortunate what happened to the esky. Can't believe it.
Sucks. But this episode's just changed up massively. Let's get it.
Now when you're using eskies full of ice on your sea-doos, I'd just recommend having an extra tether or tie back to the jet ski itself. We hop into the water and Eagle Eye Mon is the first to spot a big belly seahorse, which I've never actually seen in the water before, so it was a really special moment for us both as it was Mon's first 2. come across this squid jig, and I can't help myself. Whenever I'm in the water, I just have to try some spearfishing techniques just to get the fish in. It's good fun. I stumbled across this flathead, and with the 2 spear guns lost, I've only got my knife, and I'm convinced that I can get this guy with my knife and a bit of skill, but he is the ultimate tease. He just sits, waits for me to get a little bit closer, and then just moves on. Now I know for a fact if I had a spear gun in my hand, this flathead would have bolted and disappeared, and I wouldn't have seen him again after the first time. Knowing that I was only equipped with a knife, he just decided to tease me. But out the corner of my eye, I did manage to spot this Weedy Seadragon, which is what we were here for. He was a bit evasive, but as soon as I found one, they just started popping up absolutely everywhere. Mom was exploring on the other side of the pier, and she had already stumbled across a couple, and within about 5 minutes I'd found 3 or 4. These guys are really, really cool. I love how they just kind of bob around. Once your eyes tuned into them, you can easily spot them. They stick out like a sore thumb in the way that they move, as much as they do try and replicate the movement of seaweed. Here we've got a big southern smooth ray, and then even more Weedy Seadragons. And when we go back to the jet ski, you better believe it, there's a Weedy Seadragon directly under the ski waiting for us as well. After observing these guys for a fair while and seeing probably 10-15 Weedy Seadragons, we decided to head on and get ourselves a feed. Scallops are the obvious choice diving down here in Melbourne, so we get stuck into it. We trial diving around the 4 to 6 meter mark for scallops, and there really isn't that much around. Mon does have this awesome encounter with some seals that come over and are really playful, and she hangs out with them for 10-15 minutes whilst I'm doing the hard yards and diving for scallops, but the seals are really, really playful and super fun. We then moved down onto 12 meters of water, expecting that with the deeper water less people will be grabbing scallops, so there should be a few more around. And this was certainly the case. There were a lot more in the 12 meter section than there were in the 4 meter, 5 meter section. Come across these 2 spider crabs and just wanted to check that they weren't dead, but yeah, they're probably in the process of mating. Here we have a doughboy scallop. Now this guy's got a massive sponge on him and he looks like a T-Rex head, so I decided to put him back. He's a bit cool, and I swap him out for a regular scallop, which we absolutely love. I'm using my scallop bag as a bit of a dive weight to plunge me down to the depths, and here we have a dancing scallop. So this guy tried getting away. It's really funny when these guys swim, but yeah, unfortunately he went into the bag as well. So we're just diving. The bag limit in Victoria is 100 scallops per person per day. So as you can see, the scallop bag's getting a bit full. I did have to do one empty and then load up again, but there's just scallops everywhere here. It was really nice ground. By this stage we were at like the 14-15 meter mark.
So it's starting to fill up some scallops, but they're few and far between, so we're going to go to deeper ground, and hopefully with deeper ground less people can dive there, so let's hope we can fill this bag up. But these are the scollies so far. Absolutely stoked. Scallops almost making me forget that I've lost both my guns in my esky. No bluefin. Yay.
And when that started to thin out a bit, we went even deeper. Now if you're trying to find scallops at home, one of the best ways to easily identify if an area has scallops is just to walk along a beach and see if there's scallop shells. If there's plenty of scallop shells, chances are you're in luck, and you just want to go down to the seabed. These guys like being on a slight angle, so on a slow decline drop off, and yeah, there's just scallops everywhere. I think the best that I got on a single dive that day was around 18 scallops, so yeah, it was a good section for scallops. You definitely won't usually see me taking this amount of seafood out of the ocean in a single day, but with scallops, they're plentiful, they're everywhere, barely anybody dives for them is my understanding, and there's 100 per person per day bag limit, so we're gonna fill up on that because we don't have scallops up in New South Wales that are easily accessible like this, so I absolutely miss scallops. And because we don't eat commercially caught seafood, the last time that I had scallops was when we were in Tassie 2 years ago. So I've really missed these guys and super excited to get stuck into them. Now where the scallop grounds got really good was at the 18-meter mark, and here you can see Mon coming down for a little forage, me popping down beside her. The viz really wasn't too hot, so we were kind of diving on top of each other to make sure that we were all safe down at that depth. The day that this happened, there was actually a great white shark spotted just outside the heads, and we're not too far from there, so we just wanted to be sure that we were being nice and safe, taking dives in poor viz together, and just getting up on scallops. Freediving for scallops is really good for breath hold training and spearfishing training as well. It builds up your CO2 tolerance, and especially when you've got plenty of scallops around, they're pretty distracting, so you just stay down as long as you can and then head back up. The important thing to remind yourself is to have proper breaks on the surface so that you are getting fully oxygenated and recovered before you take your next drop. It's really tempting just to go up to the surface, have 20 seconds and then go back down for another minute and a half and just continue doing that, but it's really not safe to do that. So guys, please take it easy, make sure you have adequate breaks on the surface and make sure you're fully recharged before you breathe up and go back down. Now here you can see that we're causing a bit of disturbance to the bottom of the water. You don't have to worry, it's not wrecking the water if you're not into diving and don't realise, but this actually whips up the bottom layer of sand every time the tide changes, so this is a naturally occurring thing for the plumes of dust on the bottom, for the plumes of sand on the bottom to get turned up, and it's actually good to turn over. The sand helps spread life. With that, I think you guys have seen more than enough diving for scallops for the day, so we decide to load up. Mon puts in her precious 1 scallop, and we're gonna call it a day as the wind picks up. The weather was really strange. The wind came through really hard for about an hour and then almost glassed off again. It was a very quick little front of wind. And you'll see that we're picking up some scallops and we're not measuring them. That's just because in Victoria there is no legal take size for the scallops, and we didn't take all the scallops. We did leave the really small ones because if there's not much meat in them and there's not much point, might as well let them go and let them grow. And that was fantastic. I'm still diving in the new Aim Right wetsuit, and this is my 3rd dive in the suit and I'm absolutely loving it. I was in the water all up probably about 4.5 hours in a 3mm in 18-degree water, and I was cozy as I didn't get cold or didn't even feel the chill when the wind was beating across us. I was expecting to see a lot more fish life down here than just the scallop bed. I don't know if I just visited the area on the wrong tide, or the lack of current maybe meant that there weren't fish life. I only saw 1 dusky flathead the whole time that we were diving, and a couple of spider crabs, and of course that banjo ray.
Nice fat one. Well done. Fun drops with the wind, hey? Fun drops with the wind. Two more drops and then we'll go.
With that, I decided to take the last drop of the day, dive on down and fill her up. The scallops down here are really good. We will definitely end up diving for scallops again before we leave, just because this will be the last opportunity I have for scallops, probably for the next year or so. So I really want to make the most of it and get onto these delicious treats. I cannot emphasize enough how much I love scallops. They truly are my favourite. Unfortunately, Mon's nowhere near as quick as me with the scallops, and she thought she was safe, but I'm stealing that scallop. That's mine. with that in mind, we decide to call it and head up to the surface, and that's us diving for scallops done for the day.
How did you go? Oh my goodness.
You got scallops.
We definitely did get scallops.
So this really isn't how today was supposed to end up, but I'm absolutely stoked nonetheless. We've got a whole heap of scallops. We're gonna clean these puppies up and we're gonna have a feast. I am so excited just to scull a couple of these raw. They're my favourite thing in the ocean, full stop. Absolutely delicious. There should be an esky with 2 awesome aim-right spear guns on it right here, and there's not, and it hurts. But after seeing the Weedy Seadragons, the white seahorse, then getting these scallops, I feel a lot better, and that's all the ocean is really. It's just a massive curing agent for absolutely everything, and I love it. So we're gonna hop on, a bit dehydrated because of our lunch and drinks. We're in the esky, so it stings, but look at that, scallops. We're both alive, we're both well, the ski's alive, so yeah, don't take these things for granted. So, yeah,
Managed to get our fill of scallops. I managed to steal one from Mon, which was quite cool. And yeah, so look, the day didn't turn out as we'd planned at all. Still reeling from the loss of the guns, but we searched and searched and searched and decided not to let it impact the day too much, and we're going to go get some scallops, and we've gone and got some scallops.
Scallop pasta.
Scallop pasta, is that what you want?
Scallop.
Scallop or scallop?
No, it's a scallop.
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 Scallop. They're scallops. Scallies, yeah. So yeah, well, let's do that then. Scallop pasta it is. Scallop pasta if you're more New Zealand.
Not a bad haul for the quick dip.
So here we have it, some delicious scallops from the bay. Still a little bit hurt over the lost gun, but this scallop is definitely going to help me forget. So you want to kind of get your knife in the side, push along until you can feel it cut a part of the muscle. When you do that, you'll actually be able to separate the shell a little bit and then work your knife in clean along the flat edge, like so. Then you can use 2 fingers, go around the back and a thumb, and you basically are just left with the muscle. It's quick and easy as that. We're still gonna smack it raw anyways, because that's what we do. Yum. That is just so good. Like you cannot beat that. That is just too good. And we're gonna go a couple more. Why not? So, same again. Knife in the side. Just wiggle that knife around, and you'll feel the scallop release the shell a little bit when you've hit it in the right spot, like that. Then we can just go straight down with the knife. 2 fingers in. That one's got a bit of roe. 2 fingers, and then you just dance around the muscle basically. Let gravity do its thing, and that's what you're left with, which is a delicious semi-clean scallop. Alright, so that's what we're left with. There's another scallop, and we're just going to smack it. We are going to cook some of these, I swear. Delicately, I'm just going to roll it away, roll off the green stuff. And that is a lovely mussel. And we're going to smack them again.
Now this is us processing through the scallops. We had a lot to get through, and we decided to do a mean cook up. This is a separate scallop cook-up, but it was actually delicious. The other one had even worse lighting than this. I've reshot this for you guys, but you can see that the scallops are delicious. The only thing that I was missing from this recipe was a bit of cream to thicken up and create a proper sauce. But with that, we're a go. So it's just pepperoni, capers, 2 types of parsley, salt, pepper, butter, scallops.
Alrighty, so this is the scallop feast. Lon's smacking in already, can't help herself. It wasn't an ideal day, but the scallops definitely are a fix to the heart and to the soul after the loss of the guns. I haven't had scallops in a while, so I'm just going to shut up and smack some of these. What do you reckon, Mon? You're already halfway into them.
Amazing.
So good.
So good to have scallops.
Alright, scallops and pasta. This is really quite a simple one, guys, but delicious. They're just the best thing in the ocean. Honestly, I would give up most fish for scallops. Scallops are still my favourite thing in the ocean, whether it's raw or cooked like this. They're incredible. Highly, highly recommend. What do you reckon? 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Absolutely nailed it. So, we're now going to try and borrow some spearfishing equipment. The dream is still alive. We're a bit deflated, but let's see what we can make happen over the next couple of days. And yeah, massive shout out to everyone who's been sharing posts and trying to help locate the guns and the eskies. You guys are absolute legends and I really appreciate it. It hurts so deep, but with meals like this, can't be too sad. So until next time, stay back, stay safe. Catch ya.